Hello, guys. You might think I'm crazy, but I'm going to take this car to Pyrenees. So I'm in Ireland and I'm going to take a ferry to Bilbao port in Spain, and then I'll go all the way across the Pyrenees and then to France and then back to Ireland. And I heard some voices about this trip. Like, of course, people are worried about the reliability of the car. I partially understand it on one side, but on the other side, I have worked on it for the past year and I did a lot of maintenance and some repairs. So I know this car pretty well, and I think it should be able to do it no problem, because there is not much that can go wrong here. By the way, it's a Rover P4 90, made in 1958, a 2.6 cylinder engine. Let me open the bonnet. A lovely 6-cylinder engine, with a modification here. Unfortunately, I know that classic cars do not deserve modifications and they should absolutely stay as original as possible. But this one is a good one. It's an electronic ignition, so I get stronger sparks, and there's not much that can go wrong here. Again, the distributor cap, I will take it with me. The rotor right here under the distributor, I also have it as a spare part. What else? Wires, I hope they will do well. Spark plugs, I checked them recently, they're fine. And then the carburetor. So the ignition system is pretty simple, but the carburetor is also really simple. It's a famous SU carburetor. I disassembled it myself. I rebuilt it. It's pretty easy to rebuild it, even on the road, you know, if you have gaskets. But these gaskets are all new. So another unfortunate modification here, I have an electronic temperature gauge because I broke the original one, and this one has an alarm at high temperature, which is very useful for long trips because there is no level indicator or water level alarm anywhere. Another modification, that's for safety, a level switch on the brake line reservoir. This brake system is not very safe. It's a single circuit brake system with all drum brakes all around. They work fine now, but because it's a single circuit, anything can happen, unfortunately. I'm planning to convert it to a dual brake system in the future. This is a modification again. It's to prevent the oil mist from the cylinder head breather from getting it into the cabin, so that this hose goes right under the car and it vents all the oil mist under the car. And the seal here is new to prevent dangerous gas entering the cabin again. So I prepared this car pretty well as far as I am concerned. Rubber hoses, all rubber hoses in the cooling system are new. There is a new radiator, new cap. For the fuel system, there is an electric SU pump right here, and sometimes it fails. I think it's probably one of the weakest points in the in the whole car in terms of reliability. I installed the new fuel filter here, and I checked the points there because it has points similar to those in the ignition system. If they get rusty, the fuel pump might stop working, but at the moment they are clean and it's working fine. The trip will be about, I don't know, maybe 1500 kilometers approximately for me, for the duration of 7 or 8 days. Hopefully it will all go well. Yeah, I'll show you the interior here as well. And in terms of mechanics, it's a 4-speed manual gearbox, no power steering at all. Here is the electronic temperature gauge with alarm. It also shows the voltage alarm. Here is the temporary light for the brake reservoir level. One thing I'm not really sure about is the condition of the brushes on the generator. This car has a conventional old type generator. It's not an alternator. So I never disassembled it before, and maybe the brushes are a bit worn, unfortunately. But you know what I asked? That artificial intelligence Microsoft Copilot. I said, let's say the generator fails. How much time do I have in a classic car to drive it during day hours if the lights are off? It said, well, you have a few hours, maybe up to 4 hours of driving if all the major consumers except the ignition system are turned off. I also got this from Halfords. These stickers must go onto the headlights because the car is right-hand drive, and in Spain and France I'll be dazzling other drivers otherwise. What am I gonna take with me? All tools, basically all the tools that I have, with sockets, an axle stand, a jack, a spare wheel. I'll check all the tire pressures before I go. I balanced the wheels, so they should be perfect. The cruising speed for this car would be about 90, maybe 95 kilometers an hour. It can go significantly faster, but it's just a torture. The RPM will be too high. It does not have an overdrive. So on Rover 90s, it's a Rover P4 90. Many of them, as far as I know, had an overdrive with a lever located right here, but this one doesn't. So I got a reconditioned differential with a good ratio from John Waring and installed it onto the car a few months ago. With that diff, it can comfortably cruise at about 90-95 kilometers an hour. Improved the noise insulation a little bit. I put the insulation just under the carpet. It can be removed at any time. And I have a seat belt. That's a custom, newly installed seat belt just for the driver. So what else I'm gonna take with me? That's the fuel hose. I'll take some heating hoses also, a knife, tie wraps. That's for fixing the tires if they get punctured. A few torches fully charged, fuses. That's the distributor and the rotor if the ignition system stops working. That's a fuel pump, an aftermarket cheap fuel pump from Amazon. I hope I'll never have to install it, but I tried running it with a fuel can. It does pump fuel, but I never installed it on the car, and I didn't test it on the car itself. So I'm not sure, will it actually stop pumping when the fuel level is full in the chamber there? It will probably keep pumping, which is not really good.